Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in and for taking a few minutes to join me as we talk about a really important concept from the Word of God. I want to ask you to do a little bit of self-assessment. And the self-assessment involves this question: how's your joy? In thinking about the past week, or even going back a little bit further to the beginning of the new year, how joyful would you say that your life has been in that relatively short amount of time? Joy is really a universal pursuit. It's not just something that Christians value. It's something that just about everybody values, and almost everyone would admit they want joy in their lives. But one of the problems is that we connect the concept of joy with our circumstances. So when life is good and everything's going the way that we want it to, it's pretty easy to find reasons to be joyful. But when things go south and life isn't going at all the way that we want it to, then it can be a lot more of a challenge to find joy. The Bible has a lot to say about this concept. The book of Philippians, for example, is full of practical advice and keys for joyful living. In this video, though, we're going to look at a conversation that Jesus has with his apostles in the final hours before he gets ready to go to the cross. And we're going to look at some practical advice that he shares with them about how to have joy. Listen to what Jesus tells his apostles in John chapter 15, verse 11. He says, "These things I have spoken to you, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be made full." So Jesus had told them some things that were designed to help them find full joy. And the question becomes, what were some of those things? Well, go back with me to verse 9 of chapter 15, where Jesus says this: "Just as the Father has loved me, I have also loved you. Abide in my love." So one of the things that Jesus told his disciples, his apostles, to help them find joy was this: I love you in the same way that the Father loves me. Think about the impact that being the object of someone's love can have on our ability to live joyfully. When my wife and I were first dating, and we had gotten to the point in our relationship where I knew that she loved me, it was amazing how much of an impact, a positive impact, that had on my ability to live with joy. Even when I didn't have the best day, or I was struggling in other parts of my life, when I was discouraged, I could still find joy in life because I knew that she loved me no matter what. And that's a concept that's true not just in romantic relationships. If you've ever been the beneficiary of that kind of love, either from a parent or a grandparent or a teacher or a best friend, you understand that when someone loves you no matter what, it helps you find joy even when your life may not look like the way that you want it to look. So there are a couple of things that we learned from this conversation that Jesus has with his apostles. Number one, maybe the most important key to finding joy in life is the love of Jesus for each of us. And the second thing that we learn is that because that love is constant, because he loves us no matter what, and that love doesn't change with our circumstances, our ability to find joy doesn't have to change with our circumstances either. And we can live joyfully even when our life may not be what we want it to be. This was something that was true even in Jesus' own life. He was able to live joyfully even though he was persecuted and rejected because he understood the depth of the Father's love for him. Now, there's a lot more in this conversation that Jesus says that relates to joyful living, but we're going to save that for another video. How's your joy? If you're struggling to find it in life, think about the love that Jesus has for you, and don't let your circumstances rob you of that joy. And if you know somebody who's struggling to find joy in their life, or who's struggling to know that they're loved, do us a favor and share this video with them. Let them know that there's a God who loves them no matter what, and who makes it possible for them to find joy in every circumstance. See you next time.